3, 4. Ever wonder if you're a rascal or if ADHD's to blame? You can't censor yourself like we've censored this song. Your focus in life is a crying shame. Am I a rascal or just ADHD? It's hard to know which one it could be. But don't you worry, 'cause we'll figure it out together on this podcast, no doubt.
Hey guys, I actually wasn't going to do a podcast tonight because I am not feeling 100%, but I saw that the other 2 episodes have had a lot of love and a lot of engagement, and it's actually makes me super, super, super proud because I didn't even know if this was going to be a thing that people would enjoy. And so now to have people interacting with it and commenting, I don't want to lose momentum. So even though I'm not feeling 100%, I still thought I would do a mini one. And it's literally going to have to be a mini because I need to give the cats their meds and their food and get ready. It's pretty much 10 o'clock here. Get ready for Monday. So I know that there's going to be a lot of people on rewatch or listening to it afterwards because it was supposed to be 4 hours ago. But my cousin has just arrived from the UK. He's going to be staying here for a month. So we were just getting him oriented. Can't remember which one it is. So I thought better to do one later in the day than not at all. No, that's not the one. That's the one. Feels like you are awfully close today. I mean, oh, camera's falling. Okay. So, unfortunately, this time I'm not going to be able to give the 20-minute thing for YouTube to finally let people know. I am also just going to double check that that a notification did in fact go out this time, because I realized that I didn't get a notification for someone that I watch. And that was loud. No notification. So anyway, let's roll. Let's dive in. I'm pretty sure we didn't do this one last time, but I'm just gonna double check. Okay, we did the bookshelf for sure. I think this is the one that I wanted to do. Am I the a-hole for insisting my fiance something to let my family? That didn't come out very well. I, 30M, am newly engaged. I've been with my now fiance for 8 years. She's 28. We live out of state from both sides of our families. My mom and her dad live in the same city 5 hours away, so we take multiple trips a year. Over the past 4 years, my fiance has visited my mom's place less and less. While it does make sense she visits her dad and sisters, she doesn't even stop by sometimes. How is that Zoom? A little off center. Yeah, that's better. My mom has started to notice, but I just make up excuses every time. I wish my fiance would consider my family more, but given some things that's happened, I think she emotionally washed her hands. Both of my adult siblings still live at home. One have a slight disability. My brother does not think before he speaks and just says anything. That was a well-timed sip because I can sometimes relate. I wish my fiance would consider my family more. Oh, wait, sorry, I already read that. My brother does not think before he speaks and just says anything. Telling my fiancée she's not family after 8 years is one example. Harsh. He does it to everyone. His ADHD just gets the best of him. I can already feel anyway, my sister and her haven't gotten on the best. And she also has a 4-year-old son that lives at home with my mother. My fiancé swears my sister doesn't want her around my nephew and doesn't even want her to know who she is. My mom isn't the most social person and rarely reaches out to my fiancé, but their relationship is good when they do speak. I come from a very antisocial family. I think that's one thing my fiancé isn't used to. I generally spend more time with my fiancé's family because they are the family I always wanted but never had. Plus, it's more comfortable for the both of us. I also choose to be with her side more so for holidays than my own. My fiance has always considered us splitting holidays just so my mom doesn't get upset, even though I know she won't come. It sucks after a while to keep visiting my mom's house alone when it's never that way on her side. While every year my fiance's dad's side of the family books an Airbnb for the weekend for all of us to go. Last year was 50 of us. Everyone puts in $300 to $400 to cover our meals or house, along with any excursions we do. It's a really good time. My mum called and asked me if they could join us this year. They would pay for their own rooms or get a separate house close by if needed, and that my siblings also sounded interested. My mom wanted all the details. When I asked my fiance about it, she told me no. She said she wasn't comfortable with them coming along, given they barely consider her family as is. I told her maybe having them come out with us versus her always having to visit would help the relationship and help us bond. She kept repeating she didn't feel comfortable with that and how my family never took out the time to meet her family before, so why now? Also, by them asking to come along, she feels used. I just don't understand. I love my fiancée and she is such a family-oriented person, but I don't understand why not now. I insisted she let them come because we're getting married anyway. Isn't this a part of marriage? Am I the a-hole? Edit. I'm so glad they added this edit because this was something I was going to say. I never said I didn't like my family. I have a very small immediate family, and yes, they are shyer people. Let me clear that up. I choose to stay at my in-laws for most occasions because I know she is more comfortable there. Can I at least get that? My family isn't going to be like hers. I understand my mom asking the question was inappropriate. I've declined their request. Hey, Steve. So I just wanted to Steve remains the same. Well, how many times are you going to change it before it remains the same? Just in case you missed the disclaimer, I am not feeling 100s. So it's going to be a mini because also it's 10 o'clock and I need to give the cats their food, etc. So this person adding that edit that they don't like, that they like their family, is not at all what I got from that post. Not even in the slightest. I kind of read that their family is a bunch of a-holes, so much so that they don't even want to spend time with them. And then they're surprised their fiance doesn't. Also, the brother saying that she's not family, I don't think you can blame that on ADHD. I think that they're giving the brother a pass for being an a-hole. Like, I know impulse control is a thing, but in general, I think the norm would be that if you say something like that, maybe in an argument or something, you're gonna correct it or like you're gonna reel it in somehow. I don't think it would be acceptable. Like, I certainly wouldn't let that fly if one of my in-laws said that to me. Like, I mean, I've got a great relationship with my brother's wife and my sister's husband. Steve, that just answered your question. I've got a younger brother, older sister. I get along with both of them well, but if either of them said that to me, I don't think I'd want to spend holidays with them either, especially if they didn't apologize. Like, and I think that vice versa, they wouldn't accept it from me. It kind of sounds to me like I can call my brother an ass, but you can't. Exactly. Like, them to go and add that in. I never said I didn't like my family. Excuse me, sir, you literally said, also, my brother has a slight disability, and then he says his ADHD just gets the best of him. If it's slight, and then yeah, my mom isn't the most social and rarely reaches out. I come from an antisocial family. What part of this sounds like nice people? Like, I don't get that at all. Antisocial isn't shy. Shy is different. Ah. Anyway, let's do one more short one, and then I gotta bounce. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna vote that their family is, the brother is, and they're all using the brother's ADHD as a get out of jail free card. You can't just be a nasty person and be like, sorry, my ADHD gets the better of me. That's the whole point of this podcast, really. Okay. Am I sharing the screen? No, I am not. For telling my brother that his disease. Okay. Let's just do that and do that. It's big enough to read. Yeah. I've never posted anything like this before, so I hope I did it right. I, 16 female, have an older brother, 17 male. He has ADHD and he thinks that means he can do anything. He's done things before and blamed it on his disease, in inverted commas, as he calls it, not me. And my parents don't do anything about it. Well, we have another brother acting like a beep beep already. The other weekend, while my parents were out and we had a sitter, my brother invited friends over to record a video for his school film class. They said they were going to bake something, in inverted commas. I know where this is going. Oh my gosh, I think I do. I felt happy for him as he was finally getting somewhere with friends and a social life. Turns out I was extremely wrong. They came home with mac and cheese, tuna, avocado, and more random things. They then start recording and mixing all this together, also using a bunch of flour and 2 eggs by using a hammer on the expensive counter to crack them, by the way, to cook up something that they put in the oven. The whole house smelled awful and the counter was cracked. The sitter and I had to open up all the windows and sit outside for hours. When we came back, my brother went to walk his friend home. There were eggs on the counter, tuna juice everywhere, and something rotting. It took a lot of nudging to actually get him to clean, and he still did a half-assed job of it. I told my parents about the situation, and they said they would handle it. They get home, he gets a 2-minute lecture, and they move on. Lectures don't affect him, and he still does things anyway. I thought at the very least they'd take his devices. My brother decides to show my parents his funny video, and I watch in horror as they contaminate the kitchen's flour, eggs, and a DVD of Shrek for some weird reason. I'm with you on that. I even read it as DVD of Shrek. They didn't cook it though. Parents still did nothing. I started yelling at my brother about how he wasted about $40 of food and how that could have gone to someone in need, but instead it was used for his dumb video. He said, "Oh, this is going to make me so angry." Well, my disease was kicking in that day, so it doesn't matter. As the title says, I said, your disease shouldn't let you get away with anything. My parents said I overreacted and that it wasn't a big deal, and now I'm in trouble with them. My friends say I was in the right. I need an unbiased opinion. Am I the a-hole? Edit. A lot of comments have been saying, what about the sitter? The sitter was my cousin. She's 25. He doesn't listen to her ever. The only reason he did anything was because his friends were there. We were going out in an hour or so. OMG. This brother takes the cake. I don't know if it's because I'm not feeling well, but I'm sorry, there's no diplomatic thing here today. Hey, Millie. That's not ADHD. That sounds like oppositional defiance disorder. I think it sounds like excuses, to be honest. Like, I don't have much of a filter right now. But basically, when I was thinking about this podcast, I was thinking, like, I think I've explained it before, but like, there are some things that are excusable, and then there's some things where you're actually just taking the mickey, like it's a joke to you. You actually, ADHD can't do that. It can't get you that far. Like, it doesn't go that far. Like, impulse control, sure, but the parents as well. Like, why are the parents so chilled? I also get the feeling that the sister feels like the brother gets away with more, which I think is pretty normal for people with siblings, to be honest. Like, I was chatting to my nephew about the difference between oldest child, middle child, and youngest child. And like, I think a universal thing is the feeling that the youngest child gets away with everything. But like, that's not necessarily the truth, but you kind of just think it is. But then the youngest thinks that the middle and the older have their things or whatever. But the parents were just laughing at this kid destroying stuff. And a big thing for me, food waste, that is not on. That is not on. Every now and then, maybe. But no, sorry. Everybody is a rascal today. I nearly said the real word by accident. So there is a 17-minute version of the podcast for consistency's sake. And if you are listening afterwards in the replay, thank you. I appreciate it. There are people who left comments as they were listening, and that, like, in the live, it helps so much. Like I've said before, please don't feel like you're spamming if you send more than one. It really helps. And then it really helps in replay as well if people are commenting. Like, whatever people did, I'm very appreciative, because YouTube basically went and said, a lot of people will like this. And that is what motivated me to do it today anyway. Steve, I feel like you voted the same as me on both things. Everybody is a rascal. All of those brothers suck. ADHD is not a reason to be a rascal or an a-hole or an ask roll or any of the above. Please do not use food as a toy. It is not a toy. There are starving kids in Africa. I'm also a starving kid in Africa. No, I'm not. I'm joking, but I'm in South Africa. But we always used to joke about that when my mom would say, don't. Things like, there's food at home. Classic mom line. Like, content on food at home. There's starving kids in Africa. We're like, Mom, we're literally in South Africa. Came late, got to turn my notifications on. Millie, I actually have another account that has notifications and it didn't send it out. So, I mean, I'm supposed to say like, comment, subscribe, notifications, but to be honest, I didn't get one. Yeah, on my other one that I check on. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. Sorry, it's a super short one. If I'm not feeling better, there might not be any more streams this week, but I think I've banked a few edited court videos. And I think if you watch Recovery Addict, if you don't, you need to. That is why this channel exists again after me giving up on it a bit. But if you do, I'll see you in the comments. And I think we're on the last of Karen Reid. So, happy Sunday. May you have the week you deserve. That felt really mean, but I mean it in a good way. Have a wonderful week. I will see you when I'm less sassy. Maybe less sassy. Bye. Thanks, Steve. I'm still trying to figure out how to hit the end stream thing without being like,